Yeah, finally a Charlotte race weekend that felt kind of normal during a NASCAR season out here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. That's definitely been different. Different for the race fans, different for the businesses that rely on those race fans. And in this case, well, different is definitely not better. It's what you hear on a windy day outside an empty racetrack. When there's no ticket selling, no fans yelling, no tailgaters or Kyle Busch haters. But here's the thing, Charlotte Motor Speedway isn't empty, and this windy day is actually race day.
NASCAR is ready to race in Charlotte.
An hour before the Coca-Cola 600 inside the Speedway, it all seems normal. Drivers and crews, the cars, the stars and stripes, the bagpipes. Yeah, but outside, just those empty echoes. With coronavirus, its amazing grace, they could race at all back in May, even with no fans at all.
It would be mobbed here, yeah. There's nobody here, yeah.
Russ Brainerd is one of the few fans across the street from the Speedway. Not inside to see the race.
The green flag is back out here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. The war is back on the Coca-Cola 600. And again, Kurt Busch with a big jump. He'll lead the field to turn one.
But close enough, at least, to hear the race.
You had to hear the cars. That's why we came, just to hear them. You know, you can listen to the radio and listen to the cars.
I've been in contact with NASCAR officials, track owners, team owners.
The governor's first announcement came back in April. Racing at the Speedway, yes. Fans at the Speedway, no, not yet.
Get the green and white checkers.
A proposal that there would be no fans in the stands.
So Charlotte's signature race in May, the Coca-Cola 600, went on as planned, minus the fans.
NASCAR's best, ready to roll.
And then came what was supposed to be Charlotte's $1 million all-star race, moved from Charlotte for the first time since 1986 to the track here in Bristol, Tennessee instead, where fans in the stands were allowed.
Boogity, boogity, boogity! Let's go racing for $1 million, boys!
And the green flag's in the air.
And finally, at Charlotte's October race, the Bank of America 400, well, the grandstands at Charlotte Motor Speedway were a long way from full, but at least it wasn't that empty feeling again.
Oh, it's been a tough season. You know, in the spring, you know, we wasn't allowing anybody at the races at all. You know, and the governor's come up with, I don't know how you come up with this number, but 7%, you know, which is a drop in the bucket inside that facility over there. But something's better than nothing, you know, wide open space now. Yep, and nothing but grass and a few flies.
Jerome Little swats the flies and mows the grass himself at his family-owned parking lot and RV camping spot near the Speedway. It's just a sliver of the $450 million impact that racing at the Speedway usually has on our local economy. But that's when the 95,000 seats are full. And when they're not full, well, empty seats can mean empty rooms for the hotels, empty tables for the restaurants, empty pockets for everybody.
It's tough. It's tough. You know, we're not big spenders. We budget our money, you know, we budget what we make. You know, you're talking a handful of cars on a tremendous amount of property around here.
Accolades and happy days, they don't ever last.
The Speedway did hold a few non-racing events at the otherwise empty track, like this live concert by the Avett Brothers, with concert goers in cars only. There were also drive-in movies on the Speedway big screen, high school graduations, and help for local charities.
Back at the track, we're actually doing a blood drive with, I think, One Blood. Even with all the restrictions, not being in the office, having events that didn't have fans there, they're like, well, what can we do to serve? So it just took a little creativity.
What's for dinner tonight?
Steak and lobster.
Nice. Doing it right, huh?
Oh, yeah.
And NASCAR fans are getting creative too. Russ Brainerd and his wife not letting the virus keep him from celebrating his race day birthday.
He only turned 66 once.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
I knew he wanted to hear the cars, so I thought we'd drive up here, get dinner, and have a little romantic dinner. With the background noise was cars.
66 years old.
That's kind of a nice present to see NASCAR back on track.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, it's great. I love NASCAR. Been watching since '85.
Yeah, and while the virus has been tough on the track and track-related businesses, well, NASCAR itself has actually done pretty well. NASCAR really the first sport to bring fans back into the stands during the virus, and for a while the only sport on television, which meant good ratings, lots of new fans discovering NASCAR, lots of old fans rediscovering NASCAR, and that's probably good news next season, hopefully when everything's back to normal.